Have you ever wondered if this moment, this recording, came to you for something more than mere coincidence? What if what you are about to hear is exactly what you need to transform the course of your existence? It is no coincidence that you have found this content. Welcome to Unconscious Journey. We will explore together the depths of the psyche, the collective unconscious, and the teachings of Carl Jung. Get ready to discover new dimensions of yourself and the universe around us. You have attracted this through a much more powerful force, something that transcends rational understanding. What is happening now is an expression of synchronicity, one of those subtle signs from the universe that show us we are in the right place at the exact moment we need to be. You might think, this is just a coincidence. How could a simple video have such an impact? However, reality is much more complex than it seems. In the vast fabric of the cosmos, everything is interconnected. Every thought you generate, every feeling you experience, and every decision you make shapes your reality. When you reach a point where you are ready for a significant shift, the universe responds and meaningful coincidences begin to manifest. This message you are receiving is one of those connections. Think for a moment of the universe as an infinite network of energy where everything from the tiniest thoughts to the most transcendental events is linked. When you experience synchronicity, like coming across this information at the perfect moment, it's as if the universe is whispering to you, you are on the right path. Everything falls into place perfectly for your personal development. What may seem like a coincidence is, in fact, a manifestation of universal order, a reminder that you are part of something much larger than you can imagine. What does this mean for you? If you are here at this moment, it is because your energy, your ideas, and your vibration have led you to this point. Perhaps you don't fully understand it yet, but somehow, what is happening now is resonating with you. Maybe you are searching for answers, feeling uncertain, or simply sensing the need for change. This moment represents a doorway to new ways of perceiving, being, and acting. Synchronicity is not just an abstract idea, it is a tangible reality in your life. Every time circumstances seem to fit perfectly, as if they were the work of destiny, it is a confirmation that you are aligned with the natural flow of the universe. This experience, far from being a random event, is evidence that you are on the right path. It is the response to your thoughts, desires, uncertainties, and intentions. Take a moment to reflect on those times when something amazingly timely happened in your life. Perhaps you crossed paths with someone just when you needed them the most, or opportunities arose when everything seemed lost. That, my dear friend, is synchronicity. It is proof that there is an energy guiding your existence and connecting you with what you need to move toward a new stage of your development. Synchronicity does not only manifest in major events or transcendental revelations. Often, it appears in the most subtle moments, in those details that we tend to overlook. It could be a thought that comes to your mind exactly when you need it, or a song that resonates at the precise moment. Everything is arranged to guide you toward your purpose, to help you remember your path and your mission. When something like this happens and resonates so deeply within you, you know it's not mere coincidence. It is one of the laws that govern the universe. Movement and expansion are constant. When you align with your true essence, synchronicities begin to manifest more regularly. There is no longer a need to force or struggle against circumstances. Instead, you tune into the vibration of your being, allowing opportunities and answers to come to you naturally. The universe, in some way, already understands your needs, and by connecting with this energy, you find yourself in the right place and time. Now, what is important here is that by reaching this point, you have opened a door. You are beginning to align with a higher energy, and this is just the beginning. This moment is not a simple coincidence. It is an invitation to connect with a greater force, to enter a state of awareness in which the answers you have been seeking become evident and opportunities flow effortlessly. It is the materialization of a universal principle. Everything you need is already available to you. The fact that you are here, experiencing this, indicates that you are about to receive something deeply meaningful. It's easy to get lost in the idea that change must be abrupt or extraordinary, but synchronicities don't always manifest in that way. Often, it is those small moments that make us pause and reflect, like when you look someone in the eyes for the first time and feel as if you already know them, or when an opportunity arises at the exact moment you are ready to move forward. These events, though they may seem simple, are just as significant as any grand revelation because they guide us and show us the path to follow. Perhaps at this very moment, you are receiving exactly what you need to take the next step. This experience, this message, is a synchronicity that appears at the right moment in your existence. Accept it for what it truly is, a door opening, a new possibility, a sign from the universe that pushes you toward what already belongs to you. You are at the threshold of a significant change, a transformation on your path, and the most fascinating thing is that this process does not require effort, only receptivity and willingness. Have you ever felt that certain events in your life are connected by an invisible thread? As if a higher energy were organizing each piece to guide you toward a specific destination. This moment is not a random event. It is a synchronicity, an expression of your energy in harmony with the vast web of the universe. However, to truly understand the impact of this phenomenon, you must first understand how your mind, your energy, and the universe interact. Imagine that each thought is like a seed. When you focus intensely on something, that seed begins to sprout. It doesn't do so on its own. It needs a favorable environment, water, light, and time. Your emotions and energy are like the water and light that nourish those seeds, while the universe provides the fertile ground where they can grow. As a result, every synchronicity, every apparent coincidence, is actually the result of the growth of those seeds you have planted many times without being aware of it. Reflect for a moment. How many times have you longed for something, imagined it intensely, and then unexpectedly an opportunity, a person, or a message appears that fits perfectly with that desire? This is not the result of chance or a magical act, but the natural response of the universe to your vibrations. Your thoughts not only influence your mood, but they also send waves of energy to the universe, creating an echo that eventually returns to you in the form of experiences and opportunities. Synchronicity is the way the universe communicates that it is present and attentive. However, these signals are not always obvious. Sometimes they appear as challenges or small hints that you can only perceive if you are truly conscious and in tune with yourself. This is where the power of intuition comes in, that inner voice that guides you toward what you truly need. Imagine walking through a dark forest with a lantern in hand. The light only illuminates a few steps in front of you, but it is enough to keep moving forward. Intuition works similarly. You don't need to see the whole path. Just trust that the clarity you have in the present will guide you to where you need to be. When a synchronicity manifests in your life, it's as if that light reveals a little more of the path, confirming that you are on the right track. Reflect for a moment. How many times have you overlooked those small clues, perhaps because they seemed insignificant or because you were too absorbed in everyday worries? Yet, those signs are the most evident messages from the universe. When you encounter something that resonates deeply with your being, it is an opportunity to pause, listen, and ask yourself what significance it has in your life. From a spiritual perspective, these synchronicities are not only messages but also opportunities for personal growth. Each time you choose to follow one of these signs, you strengthen your connection with the universe and open new doors to your development. But how do you recognize if a sign is meant for you? The answer lies in how it makes you feel. If something resonates genuinely within you, if you feel an unexpected calm or a deep emotion, it's likely that the sign is aligned with your path. It's as if the universe is activating a fiber within you, creating a vibration that is impossible to ignore. Synchronicity also offers us a valuable lesson about timing. Often, we long for events to happen at a specific moment, according to our expectations, but the universe follows its own rhythm, one that doesn't depend on our urgencies or deadlines, but on what is most suitable for our development. When a synchronicity appears, it not only indicates that you are moving in the right direction, but it also reminds us that the right moment cannot be rushed. It comes when we are ready to receive it. Imagine a river in its natural course. No matter how much you try to control it, the water will always find its own way. The universe operates in a similar way. You may try to impose your plans, but in the end, the natural flow will always find its way. Synchronicities are like little currents in that river, guiding you toward a specific destination, even if you can't clearly distinguish it at this moment. This is where one of the most important aspects lies. These signs are not only present to guide you, but also to remind you of your true essence. When you begin to recognize synchronicities, you realize that you are not simply a consequence of circumstances, but an active participant in creating your reality. Every thought, every feeling, and every action you take contributes to the fabric of your life. Synchronicities demonstrate that you have the ability to shape your destiny in ways you never imagined. However, this power comes with responsibility. Synchronicities are not mere coincidences. They are opportunities for reflection and change. When the universe sends you a sign, it is not enough to simply recognize it. It is necessary to act accordingly, to take that step that brings you closer to what you truly desire. In essence, synchronicity is not just about what the universe offers you, but about how you choose to respond to it. This moment is not a random event, but an opportunity to trust, let go of control, and allow the natural course of life to take you exactly where you need to be. Reflect for a moment. If this experience has come to you, it is because there is something within you that longed for answers, a deeper connection, a confirmation that you are not alone on this journey. However, synchronicities are not meant to be merely observed. They must be understood, assimilated, and above all lived. It is not just a simple coincidence. It is an opportunity to ask yourself, what does this mean for me? When you begin to recognize the impact of synchronicity, you understand that nothing in your life happens by chance. Every step taken, every decision made, and even mistakes that seem to divert your path have actually led you to this very moment. By understanding this, your perspective changes. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and begin to recognize yourself as the architect of your reality. The key lies in the fact that conscious creation requires attention, intention, and action. Imagine your life as a book where each page represents a day, an experience, a choice. Synchronicities are like notes in the margins, left by an invisible hand guiding you toward the next chapter. However, those directions will make no sense if you choose to ignore them or not act on them. Considering these signs as mere coincidences is like overlooking the most valuable notes in the book of your life. From an energetic perspective, synchronicities happen because your thoughts, emotions, and vibrations align with a particular frequency. It's similar to tuning into a radio station. When you are in harmony with your true desires, you begin to receive signals that confirm you are on the right path. The crucial question is, are you in tune with what you truly desire, or are you vibrating on a frequency of fear, uncertainty, or confusion? Reflect for a moment. What kind of energy are you projecting at this moment? The law of attraction does not only respond to your conscious desires, but also to the more subtle vibrations, even those you don't fully recognize. If your frequency is tuned to fear, you will attract circumstances that reinforce that emotion. On the other hand, if you resonate with love and trust, the experiences that come to you will reflect that inner state. Synchronicities are the way the universe reveals the frequency you are on. Imagine walking along a path filled with signs. Some are obvious and direct, like an arrow pointing the way. Others are more subtle, like a distant glimmer or a breeze gently guiding you. Synchronicities act in the same way. Although they are not always easy to identify, they require attention, trust in your intuition, and the willingness to follow that inner feeling that suggests something is important, even if you can't explain it clearly. The power of synchronicity also lies in its ability to unite different aspects of your existence. You may discover a clue in an unexpected environment and later find another in a completely different context, yet both seem to connect in the same message. This is not a coincidence. It is a way in which the universe demonstrates the interconnectedness of everything, reminding you that every element of your life is part of a bigger picture. Visualize your life as a puzzle, where every experience, encounter, or thought is a key piece. Synchronicities are those pieces that fit perfectly, allowing you to see the bigger picture with greater clarity. However, it is important to remember that you cannot force the pieces to fit before their time. Each element arrives at the right moment, trusting that the whole will be revealed when you are ready to understand it. From a spiritual perspective, synchronicities are not just external signs, they are also internal reminders of your power. Every time you experience one, you have the opportunity to reconnect with your intuition, that inner voice that always knows what the next step is. To hear it clearly, it is essential to create space in your life. Subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of our reflections and analyses on the work of Carl Jung. Join our community and start your own unconscious journey towards self-awareness and transformation. It is essential to detach from the noise and distractions that often obstruct the connection with the transcendental. Reflect for a moment. How could you create more space for synchronicities to manifest in your life? These signs do not always emerge in moments of serenity, they often appear amid disorder, when you least expect them. However, if you are too busy or distracted, you might overlook them, underestimate them, or even dismiss them as mere coincidences without value. Imagine looking at a starry sky, where some stars shine more brightly than others, but all are part of the same firmament. Synchronicities work in a similar way. Some are so obvious that they are impossible to ignore, while others require a more attentive observation to be recognized. However, all play a role on your path, reminding you that you are never alone. The true meaning of synchronicity is intrinsically linked to trust. Every time you decide to follow a sign, you strengthen your trust in life and, more importantly, in yourself. But this trust is not blind. It is a confidence rooted in experience, in the recognition that the universe constantly guides you toward what you truly need, even if it doesn't always align with what you expected. Also, consider how you have responded to the signs that have already appeared in your life, as synchronicities are not just meant to be noticed, but to be fully experienced. Every time you choose to ignore a sign, you might be closing a door that would have led you to something meaningful. On the other hand, by acting on a sign, you open the possibility of accessing a new level of understanding and change. Finally, it is important to remember that synchronicities are not just external signs. They also reflect your own inner power. Every time you experience one, it is a confirmation that you are in harmony with the flow of the universe, that you are exactly where you need to be. However, this power is not something granted by the universe, but an energy that has always been within you. It is something that already resides within you. Synchronicities simply help you remember that each one of them is an essential piece in the puzzle of your personal development. However, it is crucial to understand something fundamental. It is not enough to recognize these signs. You need to assimilate them, interpret their meaning, and discover how they can push you forward. Every moment, just like all the others, has a reason for being. Nothing happens by chance. These experiences not only provide information, but also function as tools for transformation. Think of it this way. When life sends you a sign, it is not to please or surprise you without reason. Its purpose is to guide you, push you toward a new perspective, and encourage a renewed way of living. Synchronicities act as subtle reminders that everything in your existence has meaning, even those aspects you still don't fully understand. To capture the true message these experiences hold, it is necessary to reach a deeper level of attention and perception. Imagine walking down a path and discovering an arrow on the ground. The arrow points in a direction, but it does not reveal what you will find at the end of the path. That is the essence of synchronicity. It doesn't provide definitive answers, but rather clues that suggest a direction, leaving in your hands the decision to continue, trust, and venture into the unknown. Think about how many times you have overlooked the signs of life while waiting for absolute certainty. However, the reality is that full security does not come from the beginning, but after taking the first step. Synchronicities are not unbreakable promises, but indications that reveal themselves at the right moment. They are opportunities that can only reveal their true value through action. From an energetic perspective, synchronicities reflect your alignment with the flow of the universe. Every time you experience one, it is a confirmation that you are vibrating in harmony with your desires. However, it is essential to understand that this harmony does not occur by chance. It is the result of your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. It comes from your willingness to leave behind what no longer benefits you and open yourself to the opportunities that life has to offer. Imagine that your energy flows like a river. When it flows unobstructed, opportunities answers, and the right people come with ease. However, when the river is blocked by resistance, fear, or uncertainty, that flow is interrupted. Synchronicities work like small currents in that river, reminding you that movement is always available, but it depends on you to allow it to happen. Their power also lies in their ability to offer a new perspective. Often, we are so absorbed in our daily routines and concerns that we overlook the opportunities right in front of us. Synchronicities act as subtle reminders suggesting that something meaningful is waiting to be discovered. To catch these signs, it is necessary to slow down, reduce the noise, and set aside distractions. Reflect on what distractions you are allowing in your life that might be preventing you from perceiving the signs life is presenting. These indications do not always manifest in a striking or obvious way. They often appear subtly, like a conversation, a number, or a piece of music. If you are too busy or disconnected, you might overlook them. It's like watching a movie while distracted with your phone, missing key moments without realizing it. Synchronicities are like those crucial scenes in a story. They are the moments that bring meaning, but only if you decide to pay attention. When you do, something special happens. You begin to notice patterns and connections that were previously overlooked. It's as if a greater plan, which has always been present, finally reveals itself, because now you are prepared to perceive it. From a spiritual perspective, synchronicities are not just external signs, they also reflect your inner state. Every time you experience one, the opportunity arises to ask yourself, what is happening inside me that is generating this external situation? The universe does not send signals by chance. Every message you receive is in harmony with your energy, with what you are projecting to the world. Reflect on how you have reacted to the signs that have appeared on your path. Ignoring them can close doors to new experiences, while acting on them opens possibilities for greater personal growth and transformation. Imagine that you are at a crossroads where each path represents a different direction you could choose. Synchronicities are like indicators along those paths, suggesting the most appropriate route. However, the final decision is yours. The signs do not move forward for you. It is you who must choose the path to follow. The deeper meaning of synchronicities is also linked to personal empowerment. Every time you decide to follow a clue, you strengthen the trust in your intuition and your ability to shape your reality. That confidence does not come from nowhere. It is built step by step, following each clue with determination. Finally, it is important to understand that synchronicities are not isolated events, but part of a constant dialogue with the universe. Every time you pay attention and respond to these signs, you are deepening that connection and strengthening the relationship with the environment around you. By strengthening that connection, you begin to experience something exceptional, an existence where signs are not sporadic, but constant. Everything seems to align naturally because you are in harmony with yourself. By paying attention to synchronicities, a profound shift occurs in your perception. You stop seeing the world as a chaotic and uncertain environment and begin to understand it as a carefully structured system, where every element has its reason for being. You are not just a passive observer, but an active participant in this balance. This moment is not just a passing circumstance, it is evidence that you are part of something much larger, an infinite network of energy that works in your favor. Think about how many times you have ignored a feeling or a clue, only to discover later that it was exactly what you needed. Synchronicities do not stop happening, it is often we who stop noticing them. However, this moment represents an opportunity. Imagine standing in front of a calm lake. Every decision, thought, or action you make is like throwing a stone into the water. The ripples created not only affect the point of impact, but expand, touching every corner of the lake. Synchronicities are those ripples that return, reminding you of the effect of your decisions and the interconnectedness of everything in your life. Every time you experience a synchronicity, you are receiving confirmation that you are in tune with the universal flow. However, this harmony does not happen by chance. It is the result of your willingness to leave behind what no longer benefits you, trust in the unknown, and be receptive to what is to come. Synchronicity is not an isolated event, but a continuous dialogue between you and the universe. Every time you follow a sign, you reinforce your trust in yourself and in the development of your path. On the other hand, when you decide to ignore it, you might be closing the door to new opportunities. Synchronicities do not guarantee results, but they offer valuable directions along the journey of life. Opportunities are there, and only you can decide whether to seize them or let them pass. Imagine sailing across a vast ocean, where the wind and currents symbolize the forces of the universe, guiding you toward a destination. However, you are the captain of your vessel. You must adjust the sails, make decisions, and trust that, although the horizon may not always be visible, you are moving toward where you need to be. Synchronicities are like stars in the sky, lighting your path even in the shadows. The value of synchronicity also lies in its ability to remind you of your connection with everything around you. Every time you experience one, You have the opportunity to recognize that you are not separate from the universe, but rather an extension of it. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions are like intertwined threads that shape the tapestry of your reality. When you pay attention to the signs, you begin to perceive the broader design that is taking shape. Reflect on this. What kind of design are you creating right now? Every thought that arises in your mind and every decision you make contributes to that structure. Synchronicities are not merely external signs, but reflections of what you are nurturing inside. If you experience signs of growth and connection, it's because you are in a state of openness and receptivity. However, if the signs seem unclear or non-existent, it might be time to look within and question what energy you are projecting into the world. From a spiritual perspective, synchronicities also serve as reminders that you are never isolated. In the journey of life, it's easy to feel disconnected, as if our experiences are individual and separate. However, every synchronicity proves that you are being supported, guided, and backed by forces that surpass what is imaginable. It's as if the universe is whispering, "I'm here with you, you're not alone." Imagine being in a forest and hearing an echo in the distance. Although you can't see where it comes from, you know you are not alone. Synchronicities are like that distant echo, reminding you of your connection to something much greater than yourself. However, to perceive that echo, you need to pause, observe carefully, and trust that even when the path is not fully clear, you are being guided to where you need to be. The deeper meaning of synchronicities is closely tied to transformation. Every time you decide to follow one of these signs, you are choosing to evolve, move forward, and adapt. However, growth does not always come easily. Often, the signs lead us into unexplored territories, challenging us to leave the familiar behind and trust in the new. Each experience is an opportunity for this kind of change. Reflect on this. What are you willing to leave behind right now to make space for what life has prepared for you? Change does not happen instantly. It occurs when you decide to let go of what no longer serves you in order to receive what is to come. Synchronicities not only indicate what is coming, but also remind you of what you need to let go of. Imagine holding a rope. At one end are all the familiar experiences, the things that are comfortable and safe. At the other end is the unknown, the possibilities, what could be. Synchronicities act as subtle nudges in that rope, urging you to release what binds you to the past and trust that by doing so, you will be moving toward a broader horizon. It's important to remember that every moment has its meaning. Every experience you live is not just a coincidence, but an opportunity to transform your reality through conscious attention, trust in the process, and intentional action. Life is always communicating with you. The question is, are you willing to listen? This is just part of the journey. Your exploration of the unconscious continues. Click on the next video to keep discovering the teachings and secrets Carl Jung left for humanity. See you in the next episode of Unconscious Journey.